We have to the bottom right hand side our blue terror from Team Liquid. It is uThermal. And his opponent to the top left hand side here in the semi-final of today's WardiTV Weekly. The red Zerg player from Prophecy Esports is Guru. Alright. We're seeing a hatchery first coming down. Nothing surprising. As we get this set up and ready to go. So, some TvZ action here as we get this going. Hatch gas pool opening against the Reaper Expand early on for game one of this best of 3 again semi-final matchup here today. I've been having a little bit of a think and through the break, and I'm thinking about what we're going to do tomorrow. Because I'm a little bit afraid that I'm burning myself out or something crazy. Like, I know I didn't stream much this week, but like, I'm trying to figure out why I'm feeling a bit like this today, so I'm wondering if I'm just burning myself out. So tomorrow, I am going to be streaming every day before Leipzig, but I wonder if tomorrow maybe we delay the Team League preseason day 3, because we're not going to have all the matches I wanted to cast anyways. And maybe we just do go for SE2 tomorrow or something, I'm not too sure. I really don't want to be burnt out before I hit Leipzig though. Obviously I want to go into Leipzig feeling fresh and good and stuff like that, so yeah, I'm not too sure. It might just be today though. I'm going to see how I feel tomorrow. Have a little bit of a think about it, see what happens. Anyways, let's see what goes on as we are going to be seeing the few Zerglings there just starting to come in to fight against this Reaper. As you do see the factory on the way up from home from uThermal. uThermal's been playing a good mix of kind of mech and bio lately, so we'll see what he wants to commit to here as we get into this in the early stages for now. What's up at Pine Frine SE2? How you doing, my friend, with the Twitch Prime sub as well? Thank you so much for the support. There's some Wardy hearts in the chat, please, for Pine Frine. Thank you very much, appreciate it. As you do see the Reaper just checking out that third basin, coming back towards the front queen. Gonna get hit by a grenade and just gonna get blasted back a little bit there. As you do see Ling speed currently on the way up, a few more Lings coming through, a couple of Hellions on the way out for uThermal as well. We're just going to be seeing those starting to move across towards the upper left-hand side of the map to see what they can get up to. So, looking to apply a little bit of pressure perhaps here. Starport behind it, obviously it continues to help to continue applying pressure. As you just see the next couple of Hellions going to be popping out as well. And a Rotron from Guru at 340, so he's already preparing for something like a Hellbat attack here. Just going to get set up with a few Roaches to defend something like that. Not looking to be kind of super fast aggression, I don't believe. Although he's making triple overload now, although he is supply blocked, so I guess that does make sense. Sometimes when you see kind of the spam of overloads, it's preparation for just then spamming units from that point. So it is a possibility, but I think it is just going to be for a few roaches to make sure you can defend against any sort of Hellbat pressure if an armory does come down. uThermal's been loving the build lately where he goes for that kind of Hellbat attack with a Liberator in the main and a couple of Cyclones too. And that's exactly what he's starting to build up now, a couple of Cyclones. So with a couple of Cyclones joining the Hellions, then an armory going down, suddenly this becomes a very powerful attack. And so that's where the Roaches really would come into play here to help Guru out in this game number 1. But it's going to be a stim follow-up, so we're not actually going to be seeing an armory. It's just going to be kind of a Hellion Cyclone pressure early, without even the Hellbats coming into play. Then going in towards Bio behind this. There's a couple of drones transferring to the third base, get picked off pretty quickly there. And you'll see another couple of Lingers towards the edge, just getting picked off as well. As you are going to see those Hellions coming back around and towards the center, and looking to see what else they can do as Lingers coming forwards. A few Roaches as well from the top side. Actually, Roaches to the left as well. You must be very careful with those Hellions. Just want to let them take too much damage. There's a Liberator coming up to the top, and we'll be looking to siege up on top of this mineral line to get rid of a few drones here. And we're just going to be seeing the Queens going to be just set to try and do a little bit more. I mean, Queen's defending the Liberator so far is very nice, making sure it can't get in towards that mineral line and start dealing damage here. As we are going to see a couple of Cyclones coming forwards, and well, Cyclone's already dealing quite a bit of damage, so a bit of damage being dealt right here right away as we see the Carapace upgrade coming in from Guru now. And it's just going to be seeing the Lair on the way up, and just going to be seeing, obviously, Guru continuing to set up into his next stage attack here, basically, as we move along through this. The 1-1 upgrade's coming on in from uThermal as well. As you see, that stim pack is just about over halfway done. And seeing where we can go from here as the roaches have come all the way back. That was a bit of a weird noise, wasn't it? That was like a queen dying, but I don't think anything actually died. That's kind of scary. What's up, Draco? In the chat, he comes in with the cheer 100. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it, and yeah, I see some love in the chat for the cheer 100 as well. Thank you, mate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, they are going to be looking to see what else is happening. Is this Viking coming through the center of the map, and yeah, still seeing what else is going to happen. I'm just going to be seeing this tank 1-1 upgrades and the stim pack still coming on up here for uThermal. As Hellions, Marines, and a couple of Cyclones for uThermal just gathering up between the two bases as well. +1 Carapace continues to come on up here from Guru. We're going to see the second Evo Chamber as well on the natural. Also getting set up at the moment. As we are going to see 2 Medivacs coming through up to the top side of the map. Just to look to see what he can get up to. So here you go, 2 full Medivacs. I mean, that's going to be what, like 10 Marines and a tank? So a little bit of pressure. Sorry, not even a tank, it's a Cyclone. He's going to be able to pressure a little bit. He's got stim as well, so he can definitely push in very quickly and start to clean out some of these creep tumors. And he gets every single creep tumor in his first scan radius. Now he just backs away. Again, happy to push back that creep for now. And that is generally what you should be looking for, right? As a Terran player at this stage, pushing back creeps, slowing things down for the Zerg, to stop them from having a solid position to play from later in the game. Roaches and Ravagers currently working their way through those rocks, and it's doing a little bit of damage here, so rocks starting to fall down. Factory coming up on the third base, and we are just going to be seeing Marines, a Marauder, some Hellions, a Cyclone, starting to come up through the center, and see where you can go. Roach speed continue coming up, and well, uThermal's just starting to go in a couple of different directions now, coming up to the top here. We'll probably be looking to, I'm not even too sure actually, as he simmers on forwards, he's going to work his way through a couple of these creep tumors already, so going to be able to get rid of a few of those here in another scan. We'll get rid of another creep tumor on the right hand side, so be able to pick off a couple of those, and just going to be seeing again this army from uThermal continuing back down to the south side. Not coming into anything, just poking, just prodding, cleaning up creep, and just, you know, setting up kind of positions on the map he can use later in the game. Which you might not be able to do if, you know, the entire map is covered in creep. It's very difficult to push then, because then you get too easily surrounded, and the Zerg trades well, and then you lose the game. So uThermal just taking it slow with that, as you do see. Well, 2-2 upgrades coming up to being about halfway done again. He's looking to play this bio style here in game number 1. As you do see a few Ravagers just poking the depots on the left hand side, and this Liberator pulling away as well. Bio pushing on forwards, and we're just going to be seeing, well, Hellbats are going to want to try and be a part of this as well. Tank will continue to siege up here. We're just going to be seeing, I mean, pretty much pure Roach from Guru trying to break through this position, but man, I mean, it's a huge commitment of units, and he loses a lot of Roaches. And the thing is, with Roaches, they just don't put out that much damage, and so with a siege tank or two in position, those Roaches were just getting murdered running into that choke point. And uThermal will take a slight supply lead from this, but only because I guess Guru is also waiting, because he is about to get an Ultralisk cavern up, so he obviously wants to put his money into Ultras rather than maybe replacing with Roaches. That's why he's just sort of stacking up money at the moment. His gas only allows him to build 3 Ultralisks though, which is a little bit of a shame. As we are going to be seeing the siege tank sets up in the center, and another couple of tanks setting up as well. As we're going to be seeing a few drones going down, and we are going to be seeing this hatchery in the middle of the map. Also going to get picked off here, so just going to be seeing the hatchery getting picked away at. We're just going to be seeing the Marine coming up to the top side, looking to try and do a little bit more. As we see again, the Marines just splitting up slightly, and more tanks continuing to siege. Tank siege up once again, and just going to be seeing the scan coming down. A couple of crew tumors will be cleaned out. So again, pushing forwards, poking in, and Seeing what he can get up to. More and more units coming up to the top side. Tanks will siege once more. Again, uThermal just not overcommitting to attacks, just poking, just pressuring. You know, forcing out units that maybe Guru doesn't actually want to make at the moment. Which may seem silly. He's like, well, he's got a good drone count. Why would he not want to make units? But if you can force the Zerg to, like, panic make a bunch of roaches, for example, then that would be fantastic. If you force them to make a bunch of roaches rather than ultras, which take a lot longer to build, for example. You've seen the tank still just sat here waiting to see what's next, as a couple of medevacs do lift up and head on over to the left hand side, so they're going to be looking to try and get some damage done over there. So uThermal dropping around. He also had this drop to the upper right, which is just cleaning a little bit of creep up. Just a little, nothing too crazy. A couple of spores actually in a good position to, oh my god, maybe just kill one of these medevacs. uThermal diving a little too hard. Obviously was not expecting the, well, just the defense to be like that with a couple of spores. Maybe not expecting so many, as in the middle of the map and Ultras gets caught off. It's a small loss there for Guru, who is counter-attacking with some lings. He's counter-attacking with these roaches. And uThermal is just pushing up through the middle of the map. He loves this map for this. Being able to just push up through the center and just attack, attack, attack. And just gives him so much kind of ease, you know, just so much ease in terms of being able to push us. Oh, the Marines though getting caught up on the Ultras, and they have to run through so many Ultras shots to get through that there, as we see the Infestors not able to hit any real connections with the Fungal Groves. Some Infested Terrans came out, but they get blown up by the tanks now. He's going to be seeing uThermal is very convincingly getting rid of this army, and I mean, he's the one that actually ends up backing away, but at the same time he's picking off so many drones with the drops that have come back into play. He's picked off 18 workers during this fight, and well, he just pulls back to regroup and get ready to go again after putting himself into a strong position. There's no reason to rush himself into a, you know, to rush himself any further. And he's being set up for at the moment. Marines just still stimming around and seeing what else they can do here. See if they can add anything else to the fray at the moment. He's going to be again trying to do a little bit more damage, picking away some more bits and pieces, and well, again just still some units moving around here. Marines coming up the right-hand side. uThermal is going to keep on pushing, keep on pressuring. Not going to let up at all. He's just going to keep on attacking all over the place. Another large army now up the right to see what else he can do at the moment. So he's coming straight up through this position. Let's see if it's going to help him out. He's going to be seeing the tanks. Sara Siege is a good Fungal Growth initial, although the tanks sort of block the Ultras from getting towards the rest of the Marines. There's just so many Siege tanks here. And there's no sort of, you know, I mean, there's no anything like Vipers or anything to deal with this, right? Some Liberators coming down. They're going to start working their way through those Queens, as the tanks are still doing huge damage. And the Queen's keeping a lot of these Ultras alive for a very long time with the transfusions. But now all the transfuse energy is gone, those Ultras really start to drop down. However, uThermal actually does get cleaned up, and I guess the transfusions did a lot more than I thought they were going to. I didn't think they were going to be quite that successful here. +2 missiles and melee on the way now from our Zerg player, who already has the 3rd Carapace upgrade, so just going to keep on getting the attack upgrades as well to help out other units throughout the rest of the game. And again, Ultras pushing forwards. There's not I guess there isn't really a lot of anti-Ultra at all, as the tanks sieging up do push those Ultras back up the right-hand side. One thing uThermal is not doing at the moment is he's not going into Ghosts. As I say that, he throws down the Ghost Academy. So that's something which obviously he generally will look to do, maybe much later into the game. These drones are going to continue gathering together and just going to be setting up over on the right-hand side. This medevac loads up full of Marines, and at the same time is going to be heading on over to the left to see what it can get up to as well. It's just still trying to drop around the map as Ultra Infesta. There's the setup here still from Guru. Now he has no, I mean, he still has 9 Queens, but it's not as many as he had in the last fight. He had like 15 or so. So he won't have as many transfusions in an upcoming fight. Will that matter though? Well, we'll find out as we're going to be seeing the Lone medevac up here coming all the way up through the top and going to be flying past that hatchery. Then you're going in towards the third base in the next couple of moments, I imagine. New drones getting picked up as those ultras coming through and just swiping their way through the couple of siege tanks. You're going to be seeing the tanks getting back to work and going to continue to pick their way all through me over these units. You're going to see that Queen is probably going to get taken down in a moment or two. So the Queen's going to fall and the drone going to get picked away as well. Some harassment from uThermal. It's not very often you see a tank drop doing damage, is it? And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Oh, he loses it to the Ravager barrel though. That's a little bit unfortunate. A little bit of an unlucky way to go. Well, Guru's maxed out again. uThermal's just at 150 supply. So obviously not looking too hot right now in terms of how that's going. Let's see if it's something he can save for himself in a few moments, as we're going to be seeing a couple more tanks sieging up over to the right hand side. Just Queens and Infestors still setting up the right, and again a few more units just going to run on over to the left as this command center continues to move its way down towards the bottom left corner. Just going to see the CC moving down towards the bottom left corner then, and just going to be seeing that landing in a moment or two. Ghosts coming into play, and they will be able to throw down a few snipes onto some of those units. The nuke is on the way up on the Ghost Academy in the main base. You're going to see again the couple of Marines continue to push up the left hand side. Greater Spire on the way. Baneland S dropping down, Spire as well as second one. As we see Guru just setting up into all of the late game setups. And I guess that's why uThermal as well didn't remax so quickly, because he isn't just pumping out bio, he's going to play Ghost Lib. If you're going to play Ghost Lib, you're generally not looking to... Well, you know, you're not going to be able to max out super quick at all. As you're going to see this Ghost dodges away from that Spore. He's looking for the nuke. He scans ahead of time to get an idea and to get ready to drop that nuke. And here we go. Off up and away into the sky. And the nuke leaves us in a dust of smoke. As he is going to... Oh my god, he's going to hit the space. I mean, okay, obviously he's going to hit it. Guru even sees the Ghost down on the low ground. As, with the Spore Crawlers, which now get blown up, so... Nuke starts to build. Another Ghost Academy starts to build now as well. And we're going to start seeing a lot more Ghosts, it seems. As the Ghosts make a journey up the right side of the map. That's so risky. Ghosts, I mean, I guess he's not as far away from his base as I thought he was. I guess I thought he was much further away than this. He even saw the higher Terran building armor upgrade coming through here, so giving himself just the extra armor upgrade on his planetary, etc. It's pretty crazy. It's an upgrade you don't see all the time, but obviously uThermal going through the trouble of researching into saying, well, you know, if I can protect my buildings from moon buys, etc., then I guess it works out a little bit. A couple of Ghosts leading the charge here. As again, if you look at his unit composition, basically no bio at all. And usually Terran players keep a bit of bio in the army, but this is like pure tank, Ghost, Liberator. There's one medevac, 2 Marauders, and 7 Marines. I'm not even sure if he's really caring too much about these Marines. I don't think he's necessarily going to replace them if they go down. Maxed out armies, as we're going to be seeing Nuke again in the same position. uThermal just still setting up that sort of similar setup to before. We're going to be seeing him starting to push in towards this base. This base which is going to be going down as the nuke lands. He's not close enough to take damage from it. He'll just double check to make sure of it. And that nuke does fall. And it does kill the hatchery. +1 fly attack, +1 fly carapace as the game set getting ready to go. That building armor doesn't help here against this base going down to the Ultralisks, as we're going to be seeing now. That nuke launched into the sky but never actually got to drop. Oh man, that's an expensive pickup of a base when you lose multiple Ultras on the exit due to the Ghosts. And that's what's so good about these Ghosts. They can just snipe for so much damage. Really goes a long, long way. So this Ghost is going to keep on repositioning around, figuring out what they want to do and where, perhaps. You're going to see these Ultras to the right-hand side. Just statue, a couple of creep teams just got cancelled here to begin with. There was a scan on the left-hand side as well as a couple of drones going to be seen, and we're not going to be seeing tanks. Going to be able to get rid of that Ultra nice and quickly. CV is currently transferring between the bases as uThermal will just double expand to the bottom left. I mean, I may just see this being a double planetary, so he has like twice the damage output or twice the safety on this base. 20 minutes in, and uThermal didn't even play mech, and we're in quite a long game. And I was expecting maybe a long game, at least from one of these games between these two, but not when uThermal was going to play bio. But he's very confident with his late game, and that's why he's set himself up in towards it, as he has done right here. And he's going to find some siege tanks over on this base, and now you're going to see the effect of that building armor. The Lings do basically nothing to it, despite getting a bunch of shots off and the help of an Ultra for a moment or so. Ultra's back up the right hand side, Broodlords still collecting together. Bane's underneath this army as we see the Liberators sieging up, and well, the tanks are the issue right now because of the Broodlords. The tanks can't actually siege up as they would usually like to do, and that's why these ghosts are going to go in for those Broodlords. Snipe. The fungal growth misses initially, then it hits a little bit too late. As you are going to be seeing the 5 Ultras down towards the bottom left, but guess what's not ready? The planetary fortresses. So that's going to be uThermal having to lift up those bases and evacuate those SCVs. So a lot of Ultras will be missing from the fight though, as we're going to be seeing a tank soaking like 10 plus Banelings. That's kind of huge as uThermal will continue to lose economy down to the bottom left, but he's going to get rid of this base. I mean, what's the point of having the worker count if you've got nowhere to put them? So many AFK and just oversaturated workers here from Guru. That's massively, as we're going to be seeing. Ghost pulling back once again, just below those libs. More Liberators joined up together, and another CCO2 in the middle of the map. uThermal needs to be able to get those up so you can float them out together and planetary fortress them up to that side. He's starting to focus on this left hand side a little bit. If we look at the unit tab, 20 Liberators and 20 Ghosts basically. There's the army of uThermal against the 7 Broods, 5 Ultras, and 11 Infestors. I love the introduction of the Banes because they go a long way against the Ghost-based armies. This is going to be enough here this time around. We're going to see that Spore Crawler really wants to get the kill on this Liberator. Already gets off a medevac from the right-hand side. Here he goes. The Ghosts are already kind of putting themselves into cloak. Starting to split away from the initial Banelings, throwing down a lot of snipes, and starting to get some connections on the Broodlords. The Liberators are starting to go down, though, and there isn't many Ghosts left over. uThermal does not have a lot remaining. 40 army supply to 34, though. His Remax is coming through on 4 medevacs, a few bio units, a couple of tanks, and the Ghosts. So he's remaxing. He lost so many Ghosts with such high energy, just simply because his opponent had really put himself in a position where I guess he was just able to roll in with the Banes, so the Ghosts were never able to get a snipe off so many of them without being killed off so quickly by those Banelings, or without at least having to move around a little bit as well. And that's one of the big things. You can see that these Broodlords have stayed alive here overhead. It's going to be a big part of this game, not losing the Broodlords, because they're very expensive to replace. Resources lost is dead even, 39,000 to 39,500 in it. As we're going to be seeing, well, uThermal can take this bottom left base now. Then he needs to take this base as well, because these are bases which Guru is, maybe not this base here in particular, but they're bases which will give Guru a good income. And obviously if uThermal doesn't take his own bases, and Guru does have those bases, if they're trading evenly, that generally tends to go the way of Guru. Just because he's mining more, of course, over time, as you know, going to be seeing the army supplies still within kind of 15 or so of each other. Again, even though there was an eco lead, or a worker lead I should say, the eco lead wasn't as huge as you might think because of the lack of kind of mining bases for a lot of those works, because a lot of them were oversaturated from previous bases still. Completely changes the dynamic of the situation. 2 spores here on the right hand side setting up, and we are going to be seeing a couple of nukes on the way out now from uThermal. It's going to be having the nukes going to be lifting up into the sky in a moment or so, getting ready to drop on down once again. 25 minutes into game number 1. And neither player is really edging ahead of the other. I mean, Guru's going to max out before uThermal. uThermal's army supply is not far enough behind for it to matter too much. In a defensive position, he will trade just fine. All these libs have been a little bit just kind of left alone over there. As, well, we're going to see a few snipes coming down, so let's test that theory of if he's going to be fine. Whoa, that was bad observing, sorry. Let's test that theory of if he's going to be fine, as the fungal growth's actually very nicely placed. Marines and Roars coming through, and maybe that's the issue here. The Ghosts weren't able to get the snipes off again. Actually, where are uThermal's units? His army supply is there, but it's not there. And he has some bio. What does he actually have on the map? 3 libs, 6 tanks. I mean, I know there's some libs up there that aren't doing anything. And I guess the lack of ghosts is the real issue, because how does he fight against the Broodlords? This happened a little bit faster than I thought it would. I thought uThermal would be having a more defensive position than what he did have. He was actually caught quite a little bit off guard there. I think unit's not quite in position, and we're leaping at the chance to make something of it. Broodlords still dropping down Broodlings. There's a lot of Queens here to help as anti-air against Vikings, for example. And also drop a lot of transfusions to, well, just help to keep those units alive as well. uThermal's going to load up his drops, and it looks as though he's just going to drop over to this side. Get ready to try and protect against the Ultralisks at least. As the Broodlords are not here just yet. Coming backwards, he gets one Ultra very quickly. The second one will go down very quickly too. In fact, he gets all 3 of these in a moment or so, I think. And he has to go through a little bit of a choke point, but he will make it through, and the Ultras all do drop down. uThermal desperately trying to hold on. He's got tanks to the left, and that is the issue. Everything's just a little bit too spread out for him at the moment, and now with him losing economy, he doesn't even have any gas left to build up even further Vikings to deal with the Broodlords. As we are going to be seeing the Queens just still setting up in towards the center of the map. And there's an Ultras coming over to the right as we're going to be seeing them going for a wrap around. Picking off some Marines and Marauders. Drop to the left-hand side. Well, at least get one of the hatches of Guru to slow down his eco, but doesn't feel as though it's been enough so far. 28 minutes in, and Guru definitely looks as though he's taken the advantage. Nukes off into the sky once again. This Ghost Academy's getting a lot of use, but wherever that ghost was, it's been cleaned up pretty quickly. That nuke is not going to land. And here's another attempt. Just defensive nukes at the moment from uThermal. Maybe just trying to get Guru to check around his bases and worry a little bit about it. The nuke's going to land on some creep spread, and that's about it. Or not if he cancels it again. Wow. Come on, uThermal, you're such a tease. Such a tease. 2 more ghosts on the way out at the moment. The Viking count's up there now for uThermal, but again, he's just missing so much else as Lings stream into this base. Those tanks disappear so quickly, and the Lings are just going to get rid of every SCV. They're getting caught up, not even Mineral walking away. uThermal's on his way over to try and deal with it, but now Ultra's going to hit the right-hand side as well, and it's just this sort of back and forth of, well, you know, I move there, then I move here, and you're just a step behind me. As uThermal is actually starting to lose orbitals, they're just burning down, and they're getting picked off still by those Zergons, which are just monsters. Plus 3 melee and adrenal glands, and that's going to be all it takes to get GG. Guru takes game 1. Jump in game and see what's going to happen. As we have down to the bottom left-hand side, the player who is 1-0 up in this best of 3. It is the Blue Zerg from Prophecy Sports. It is Guru. Going up against the Red Terran player to the top right-hand side of the map from Team Liquid. It is uThermal. What's up, CPP Maniac? How you doing? Coming in for the Twitch Prime sub. A few of you Twitch Primers today. How's it going? Maybe the Twitch Prime sub, do appreciate it. Thank you very much. How's it going, Maniac? I see some Wardy Hearts in the chat, and welcome to the Wardy family, of course. See what these guys are going to bring out for game number 2. So far, very similar to what we saw in the last game. Nothing too different or crazy just yet. Just get ready to go. Wait and follow this Reaper across the map. I think following the Reaper across the map is one of my favorite things in TvZ. Okay, maybe not, but it's a very exciting early game thing compared to certain things. Is this Reaper going to be coming through the center of the map, and off and away we go. Off and away we go. Gonna be moving on through, and I'm gonna be trying to do a little bit of damage. Actually gonna be able to grab a drone already. Looking for another here, but hasn't quite found it just yet. Ling's not quite blocking it for too long there. As we are gonna be seeing the Reaper able to again get killed quite nicely, and kind of go from this point as we're gonna see the factory on the way up. The reactor is building. Go Marks his IPX in the chat. Come on, Fermi, says Ceruleas. Well, it's cool to hear who you guys are cheering on. So thank you for letting me know, and keep on cheering in the chat, guys. Keep the hype coming in for the players you're cheering on, which I imagine chat favorite quite heavily here will be uThermal. But still, confirm that for me. Let's hear it. You know, I'm a silly caster. You guys need to really spell things out for me so I can figure them out, you know? Alright. So, just waiting, guys, to really see what happens next, I suppose. A couple Hellions just sat in the natural expansion as well for the moment, and there's going to be seeing four Hellions in general. Exact same time for Rotron in game number 2 here from Guru as what we saw in game 1, so again, setting up in a way that can be very good defensively. There's going to be seeing those Lings getting blasted by a Reaper grenade, and they are going to continue to chase that Reaper along over to this right hand side. So a couple of Lings continue to chase on over to the right, and well, other than that, just going to be seeing the Reaper just wait to see what else it can do, I guess. And you're popping back up and towards this natural as it's going to find a Zergling. Hallian's actually going to clean that Zergling up quite quickly though, so goodbye Mr. Zergling, it was nice knowing you. It's going to be seeing the Lings continuing away back towards the bottom left hand side. This time it's actually a bit more aggressive from Guru though. Last game he really did just sell this as kind of like, okay, I'm just going to defend and stuff like that. This game he makes a bunch of roaches and starts moving forwards, although actually he doesn't actually do anything with them. He actually stops just a little bit shy of continuing to move on forwards, as uThermal are going to be playing Bio once again. The stim pack is already starting up. We have just got this army coming around the right hand side. So Hellions and the Reaper just around the right, as we're going to be seeing the Viking picks off an Overlord to the top. And again, uThermal just looking to see what else he can do. Going to move in towards the natural. This run by can be pretty deadly because the roaches are across the map. And again, how much damage shot the roaches are going to get done right now. The run by not doing a lot. It's just Zerglings that are dropping. As we're going to be seeing them continue to wrap around those Hellions, and only 3 workers. Okay, he gets 7 now with one more shot. 8 as the final shot goes down. Roaches are going to morph into Ravagers over here. Needs 3 of them to take down the Liberator, and he knows that, so he morphs in 3 of them. He should be able to get these here, this Liberator. And that's uThermal does some crazy quick repositioning. That's not going to happen as those Corrosive Bars hit well. But now there's a Siege Tank, so it did buy a little bit of time, forcing the Ravagers to morph in. And it looks as though uThermal will be just fine as Guru is drawing it back at home. There is no follow-up to that attack. And uThermal holds off what was a fairly simplistic wave 1 of it in the end there. He's going to be seeing a few Ravagers and Lings still collecting together, and waiting to see what's next. Do you just see the Siege Tank just sat on this right hand side? And it's moving up the right, and we are going to be seeing Ravagers coming in as well. Roach 2. A couple more Evo Chambers are going to be finishing up from Guru in the lair on its way. As the Carapace and the missile upgrades coming up on the Evo, so they're going to continue along as, again, Lings and Ravagers unable to do a lot on the other side of the map so far. Lings all the way back over to the left side here. 1-1 upgrades about to finish up right now for uThermal. Combat Shields is on the way. Armory is on the way up as well, and a couple more reactors just to finish off those barracks. We'll be just amping up that marine production. Lings, Ravagers coming in here and working their way through those rocks in towards the center, so just working their way through that. The infestation bit's going to be finishing up very shortly. The 1-1 missile upgrade's still coming through. The roach speed as well, also still on the way up as that Viking does get shot down. And again, with Marines and tanks coming down the right here, uThermal's getting ready to push. He's got 1-1 against 0-0. That's a pretty big deal. He actually has an army supply lead. Okay, the army supplies are pretty even, but 1-1 lead? So many tanks. I mean, this is at least goodbye to a 4th base, I think, unless Guru finds some kind of insane kind of engagement. I don't know how. Queens just wander forwards into those Marines. They just disappear. The Marines manage to kite back, so they don't even take friendly fire off the tanks. Corrosive Bars do land, and one tank goes down already, but Guru is just not going to have enough, and he types out GG very quickly. And this 8-minute push is just too much for him. uThermal will take it, and this game looked a lot simpler than that game number 1, of course. Well, let's see what happens as we're going to be going into this and see what happens. As we have got to the top left-hand side. I mean, this is another big map as well, by the way. Like, oh my gosh. What a huge map to have a game on. This could be pretty crazy, honestly. This could be pretty crazy. It could be lengthy. Well, we will see. So the top left-hand side is the blue Zerg player in Prophecy Esports. Give it up if you're cheering on Guru. His opponent to the bottom right-hand side, the red Terran player from Team Liquid, is uThermal. Just getting set up into this here and waiting to see what sort of direction this game is going to be starting to take. What sort of builds and so on are we going to start seeing here in the near future? As we just wait to get into this properly. Takes a little while. What really kind of baffles me still when I think back to it is just how on earth did we ever survive as casters the old early games, which were 6 worker starts, when literally nothing happened for just so long, so often. It's really kind of crazy to think back to that. That's so long ago. I don't know how I ever did it. I really don't. It's still a little bit crazy to me. Anyways, let's do this, guys. As we just wait to see what's gonna happen. Why not sack the hatchery and wait for your 1-1? I mean, it's not the easiest decision to make at this, at that point in the game. Maybe you feel as though, oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to fight this anyways. Maybe you don't realize your 1-1's just not quite there. In the heat of the moment, I mean, that's when decisions can be made somewhat badly, and that's the beauty of StarCraft. You have to be able to keep your cool in moments like that. Lord coming on down along over the right hand side, and Guru's going to take the inner third hatchery. That's so freaking weird. It's so strange. I mean, you don't really see the what do you gain from having this hatchery here as the third base, right? Like, I guess it's a bit safer, but then you're missing half the minerals that you usually have, so you're not even setting up properly in towards an economy compared to usual. It's really, really weird. I don't even think a Zerg player really needs to be safer anyways. Like, what's going to really stop you taking this base instead? Like, I mean, very little, really. You know, why can't you defend that base when you usually defend a base like that on a third base all the time? Are you going to be that much greedier in this game that you need to have that protected back base? You know, that's my sort of question. Well, I mean, you know, maybe you rush out Mutalisks and then you have, you know, just a defense at the front with spines or something. Maybe that makes some sense. It's kind of tough to probably figure out, though, as we're going to see the Queen picks off this Reaper. And just going to be seeing the, well, a couple of Hellions getting themselves a couple of link kills here. Musling's going to come back in and just going to kite backwards. uThermal just picking up some damage, so doing quite a bit of damage here so far, and yeah, not huge amounts before a couple of Hellions. It's not bad, and he is going to get one drone kill now. Just one drone kill as the Hellion does start to sneak away, and will it actually be able to get away? Probably not. Actually stopping there almost definitely means that it will not be getting away. So that will be going down very shortly. Carapace starts up from Guru as we see uThermal again with the stim pack starting into play as well. And he's still just making a few more Hellions and the Liberator and maybe even the Cyclones once more, so same build throughout here from uThermal, continuing for similar idea game after game. Just not really changing anything, just saying, well, you know, there's just no real need for me to change anything here, so. You can see this Viking pushing this Overlord up the right hand side, and we'll see what it can get up to. Viking gonna come all the way up the right as we do see a couple of engineering bays on the way down for uThermal, a refinery, a second, well, just double refinery on the natural. And again, it is going to be bio, not mech, so you already see that factory moves back to the tech lab to start building up that siege tank count, which is something that uThermal really likes in the TvZ. I feel like he plays a much heavier siege tank count than a lot of other players. It's something he likes a lot in TvP as well, playing a lot of tanks, and like Marine tank, for example. I remember back in WCS Leipzig in 2016 when, you know, he was playing pretty much pure Marine tank against Protoss, and it was pretty crazy, but brought him a lot of success. As you see, that Liberator's going huge, and now he's just running by with these Hellions. He's getting a lot of damage done as well. And they are, I mean, combined with the Liberator, on 15 kills in recent times, which is obviously pretty good, and make that 16, as those Hellions were not ready to go down just yet. Well, the Spy does now start here from Guru, who takes things, you know, he's got the 4th hatchery up too. And so far, having that earlier 3rd hatch, or not even an earlier 3rd hatch, but the back 3rd hatch, it's not really providing him with the safety that he needs early on, as you are going to be seeing the Spire coming up and the +1 melee upgrade coming through as well. The Carapace is indeed up from Guru here as well. And it's just going to be seeing those Zerglings pulling back away from the wall and back towards the upper left-hand side once more. Armory dropping down from uThermal 2 as a couple of extra barracks come into play, just getting ready to start his 2-2 upgrades. I mean, he's going to be ahead on the 1-1, even if he isn't ahead on an upgrade right now, because he has double upgrades. He will take a lead here in the end. You're going to see this Overseer just morphing in and going in towards the main base, just making sure Guru he has everything he needs. As Viking went on a little bit too far of a journey, didn't he? He is going to get punished a little bit by going on low health, but doesn't go down just yet. So Feegle Hook's on the way up, and as that base Banelim nest is starting to research. Well, as the Banelim nest is starting to research, the +1 flyer attacks is on the way on the Spire too. A lot of lings down to the south side. As you see Marines starting to push across. If they got surrounded, that'd be huge. As it stands, they're going to kind of be able to fight against the lings that do move forwards. And well, uThermal a similar push to the last game. He doesn't have as many tanks. Last game had kind of, what, 815-ish? He had like 4 tanks to push. Now he's already making a 4 back at home, which is very interesting. He also hasn't started this 2-2 just yet, so uThermal with a few interesting kind of decisions here. Another tank sieges, and we are going to see those Marines continue to fight this here. As you're going to see the Queens coming in, the Banes looking for those Marines. Most of them getting taken down before they could really reach a decent number of them, and the Mutas now coming through. There's still just a few Marines left over that are fighting. Okay, and the Mutas are going to help to clean this up in the end then. So uThermal is, well, being pushed back, but honestly he's being pushed back with a bit of an advantage still in his hands. He has the supply lead, which in a TvZ should never really be going in the way of a Terran player. There's not much of a need for that. Forward to the right hand side, moving around still just a little bit. He has this hive now on the way up from Guru as well. 5th hatchery from Guru coming down. Over on this low ground is again a lot of creep spreading up through the top, out through the center. Some of it down over to the left hand side as well. Gee, the creep spread to Guru is pretty good. It's one thing uThermal didn't really do a good job of, was cleaning up the creep at all. There's a few changelings getting picked off, unable to really pick up too much information apart from where that army is for a few moments. Drilling Claws now on the way, and as Drilling Claws comes up, it is going to be that possibility. Well, I've just kind of got into a lot of Widow Mines rather than tanks, which obviously makes some sense, you know, if you want to play in against the Mutalisks. Tanks are not necessarily the best option to have on the map. Tanks are very good against Roaches or Hydras, but against Mutilating Bane, Widow Mines are going to do the job 5 times better because they can also hit those Mutalisks. So uThermal is going to be building up for that. He's actually going to play like kind of like Bio for Widow Mine. So adding some 4s in as well to really have that kind of answer the Mutalisk brought into play here. So he really isn't going to allow Guru to run away with the Mutalisk count or anything. That's going to really kind of be painful for Guru. As you're going to see the Lings, Mutas and Banes. Well, moving down, he's actually going to find uThermal a little bit kind of unprotected with a lot of his army missing here. uThermal now going to lift up and will pull back towards the, well, just behind the 4 even. The 4 there, a very sturdy unit that will hold its ground, that will be able to fight if those Mutas, Lings and Banes try and jump on it too quickly. uThermal still just pushing over and is going to take down one creep tumor already. Queen's just pulling back. uThermal's maxed out. He's hitting 2-2 as well, so he's maxing out with a 2-2 timing, hitting almost perfectly on time. And this is a pretty scary push here from the Terran player. How do you deal with this as Guru? Well, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, I don't really know if you do. There you go, Marines are going to start stimming, and we're going to see Widow Mines are going to be able to start going off. And Muta's taking quite a beating from the few 4s here, although the Ling Bane making some progress, but is there enough? I don't think so, because there's Marines that remain, and as Marines remain, the last few Mutas will go down. The Corruptors will be falling, and it looks as though uThermal will be able to take game number 3 and go to the grand finals of the WardiTV Weekly number 21. So close, says uThermal, as that is going to be GG as he takes the 2-1 series, and he will advance on through. Congratulations.